I got involved when United Way asked me to chair a resource development committee in the fall of 2007 and convene a group of community volunteers and leaders to study our fundraising effort. And I've long believed, I'm an employee campaign manager myself here at the law firm. I've run our campaign for 6 or 7 years, and I can see firsthand the issues, the advantages of an employee campaign manager and the disadvantages. You lose touch with your donors when you've got somebody who's really not United Way, but a volunteer like myself, doing all the interfacing with the donor at your firm and asking them to continue to sustain a high-level giving year in and year out. It's a real challenge for United Way, and I believe, and our Resource Development Committee believe, that planned giving is an essential component of holding our donors and maintaining contact and a connection with our donors. And let me explain how I think this happens. When we go out to visit with potential planned gift donors, we are, as you can expect, and this is no genius strategy, targeting people who are very friendly to us. They're on our boards. They're past campaign chairs. They're CEOs of companies that run major workplace campaigns. And so where to go for a planned gift ask is not hard at all. How to do it and how to proceed with it and try to make an impact is a challenge. And we're learning as we go. This is a fledgling effort for us. So we are getting started here, been at it about 1.5 years, with Bentley having spearheaded this even before then, with Jack Cross, one of our community volunteers. And we've made 50 or more calls on major donors, and we visit them at their offices. We study up on them ahead of time. We know their wives or their husbands. We know their children's names. And more importantly, we know their cumulative lifetime giving to United Way in Metro Atlanta, or their giving in another city if they've moved here from another city. And the first thing we tell them is, do you realize that in your lifetime you have given X dollars to United Way? And many of them are stunned to realize just how much money they've invested. It's often the single biggest charitable commitment they've made, where it's a recurring annual gift. And we thank them for that, and we remind them of all the volunteer work they've done for United Way or for other charities as well, and thank them. That's opportunity number one to connect with a donor, is to thank them for what they've done in the past, and we believe that is extremely important. We then say, if you've made this kind of an investment in United Way, it must mean a lot to you. We ask them what they think about our current direction, where we're headed, how they feel about it, how their family feels about it. And then we say, if you feel that strongly about our organization, assuming the answers are good and not very negative, and they usually aren't negative, then we say, why would you not want to consider, perpetuating that gift? And obviously, if we can perpetuate a gift, it's a Tocqueville member we might have lost who stays on our rolls, or if they come off, they'll come back on at death, in effect, because they will have perpetuated their gift or endowed their gift. And I think it's a very sensible sort of dialogue to be having with a loyal, committed donor to United Way. And we find that it helps, and we listen they ask, as they say, but we also try to explain and take some of the mystery out of planned giving. We have found that many of the donors, and you should never assume that a CEO of a public company has really given any serious thought to their own personal family planning, much less charitable planning. Many times we are a catalyst for starting those kinds of discussions. And they can be sensitive discussions, but we find that that's one of the major objectives in the first visit is being a catalyst to think about death planning and charitable gift planning, which often is not on their radar screen. United Way Life is a very simple concept to communicate to a donor, in contrast to the concept of life insurance itself, which is not simple. My wife and I did a gift of $1 million policy to United Way here in Atlanta. And by the way, if you want to get a planned gift, the best thing to do is to get that person to be the chair of the planned giving committee. That's how that gift. That's how that gift got closed, although it did take me a long time. It did take a long time to do it. And one of the reasons is insurance is complicated. I happen to be a tax lawyer here at King & Spalding. Insurance mystifies me. And my insurance agent mystifies me. And so when you're talking to a donor, and it may be the CEO, and we've met them, Bentley knows them, they can look at you with glazed over eyes, and often a simple vehicle, namely an IRA designation or a 401k plan designation, or United Way life insurance with a 5-year level premium guaranteed policy, with all of the pricing and everything being handled by United Way of America with their broker that they are working with, the simplicity of that helps to get the deal closed. I can't stress that enough about what a major selling point that is in my view. I'll wind this up, but complex charitable gift planning, obviously we can get as complicated with the donor as they want. You know, unit trust, remainder trust, get lifetime gift annuities. But I personally think in these meetings, those subjects are better left off the table with simple concepts being advanced. And then the idea is to follow up. The follow-up is absolutely critical. Bentley spearheads that, like she does most of the things we've done. But Bentley makes sure that we come back to that donor in a polite way to reinitiate the conversation, and we leave them telling them it's going to happen because we know, and I know from my own personal experience, that a planned gift does not get signed up overnight. It is not a tocqueful ask where you walk out of a room and go, Yahoo! You know, it doesn't happen that way. The value that we get out of those meetings, in my view, is incalculable. We are talking to a donor and thanking them and giving them an ask that, frankly, in this economy is not as scary as a Tocqueville or Ivan Allen ask because it's long-term. They're not giving something away right away. I believe it's easier for them to think about it, and we'll be going back to them. So that's my message here from Atlanta. And I want to again recognize and thank Bentley Moraine for the outstanding job she is doing down here, and all of you for what you are doing for United Way. Thank you.